Have you ever seen an Instagram square of a picture-perfect tea time and thought, ugh, I can never be that mom? Or felt like tea time is only for special mothers and that just isn't you? I'm here to tell you that tea time can be simple. You don't have to put a picture of it online. Ironic, I know, as I share some footage of our most recent tea time. If it's a desire you have to make your school day more joyful, convivial, memorable, and restful, then I encourage you to start tea time in a way that blesses your children and you. And in order to gain the most blessing from tea time, you ought not to put picture-perfect Instagram standards onto this life-giving practice. Let it be normal, natural, and a gift to you and your children. My name is America, mother to three, homeschooling in a classical and Charlotte Mason way, and today we are talking about tea time. On this particular day, I wasn't planning on doing tea time at all. It was a Wednesday. The schoolroom was a mess. We had worked diligently on our individual skill subjects, and I started pulling the books for our literature loop and thought, these books would make the best tea time. I've had some questions about our tea time routine, and I planned to just get a couple of B-roll shots for our tea time. But my kids, especially my oldest son, really wanted to participate in a full-on tea time video. I had so much fun putting this together with him and including him in my work. The younger two were happy to be included and vehemently requested they be in the video too. So we chopped up some farm fresh Michigan Honeycrisp apples, brewed a pot of tea, and had some Aldi maple leaf cookies, and had ourselves a tea party. Family subject time is usually our favorite part of our homeschool morning, but when you add special snacks and tea, it makes a particularly special and jovial day of lessons. I want to share an inspiring idea with you from Cindy Rollins' Mere Motherhood, which I enjoyed reading in August. She asked a question along the lines of, what homeschooling activity do you feel like you're failing at? Which area do you wish to improve? Is there something you want to do, but you feel like you can never get to it? Whether it is tea time, brush drawing, nature walks, or notebooking, Swedish drill, or folk dancing. Well, Cindy Rollins encourages us, go do that one thing today. That idea has really inspired me. And so today, my main encouragement to you, if you're wanting to do tea time and you are in a season that you are able to, but you feel like it never happens, would be to do tea time today, even and especially if it's messy, a bit chaotic, and your kids don't like tea. You won't regret adding levity, joy, and a shared convivial spirit to your homeschool day. Now, Charlotte Mason never prescribed tea time, but she was British and she appreciated beauty within the ordinary, so I personally think she'd be team tea time. Now, on to some practical tips. My children like rooibos tea and Yorkshire Gold, and anything they can add sugar or honey and milk to. But in the summer, we like kombucha parties, and in the winter, we love a cup of raw milk cocoa. Any special drink will do. I am absolutely not a tea connoisseur, but I find brewing a pot is easier to manage than individual cups. I brew 3 bags in this little pot, and I'll link the one that I was gifted a couple years ago down below. For snacks, fresh baked goods are great, store-bought goods are great, or just fruit with honey or peanut butter, or a slice of fresh bread with butter and honey. Kids are easy to please. My dining room table nearly always has a tablecloth because I think they're lovely, but we're sure to use placemats. I love setting the scene with the lighting of a candle, and I try to always have fresh flowers. A blanket in the shaded grass for a picnic tea party works wonderfully too. Now, you don't have to do any of these things, but adding some special note of cheerfulness affects the entire atmosphere, which is one of our tools of education, as Charlotte Mason teaches. So you've got your tea and your snacks, and now it's time to gather your books. You can simply use the books you're using for school that day, or you can stick to just poetry, or your favorite family read-aloud of the moment, or just seasonal picture books. On this day, we had our literature loop planned, so I read some poetry selections, a couple of fables, Grimm's Hansel and Gretel, and our current family read-aloud, The Jungle Book. Now to gather the children. My children get excited about tea time because I started when they were young enough to not have any objections to special snacks, drinks, and books. But your children may be put off by the term tea time, or they may be put off that you're doing something new, or any number of reasons. I think the snacks will draw them in to participate, and if not, try better snacks next time. But knowing your children as you do, don't be married to the term tea time. Simply telling your children, come, let's have some muffins and hot chocolate and read some books, should get the desired result. You may be thinking, yes, this sounds nice, but how do we fit this in? We don't have any spare time for this. Well, that's why I think sticking it in a block where you've already got readings planned works best. Whether that's the morning or the afternoon, spending 10 minutes prepping your tea and snacks will be worth the change in atmosphere of your school day and even school week. I think we will try to continue to implement this Wednesday literature loop tea time because it's so nice to have something different in our schedule right in the middle of the week. But you could also do the afternoon, Saturday morning, Sunday after church, or just a random Tuesday afternoon. Then there is the question of how often. If you have never tried tea time, then maybe go to your calendar right after this video is done and select one morning per month to set aside for tea time. Maybe every other week sounds like it could work in your schedule. Or maybe you can see right now that there is a time block you could tie into tea time each week, pairing it with something you already do regularly. Say you schedule 2 tea times per month for a 9-month school year, but you only get to about half of those. Well, you're still sharing that special time with your children nearly 10 times this year. And 10 times doing tea time is better than no tea time at all. All of these little moments and times we attend to making the home's atmosphere conducive to shared joy and learning and fanning the flame of curiosity in our children is time well spent. Just try not to go into tea time with the mindset that it is just one more thing to add to your full homeschool schedule. That will strip all of the joy from it and make it a burden rather than the gift that it is. Remember that you don't have to. Rather, you get to. You get to stay home and educate your children. Teach them to love the right things in the right order. Teach them to be virtuous and kind, to have good habits, to love their families and prioritize slow living. And maybe, just maybe, tea time can teach them some of those things. I hope you enjoyed this glimpse into our tea time, and I hope you found some encouragement here. Let me know down below what are the biggest struggles getting in your way of having tea time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.